everyone, it's Rosie here from Rosie X Stitches on Flosstube and on Instagram. Thank you very much for coming back. I know there has been a big gap between my second episode and this one, episode number 3. However, January has just sort of ran away from me. Nothing really to report as to why that's happened. It just seems to have come and gone very quickly. I did have lots of intentions of sitting down and doing a Flosstube. However, life just sort of got in the way for no particular reason. I haven't stitched on any whips that I have been carrying over from 2022, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. However, I have started lots of new whips during January, which I'm really excited to show you. I'm hoping now I've sort of scratched that itch of new starts. Can't guarantee it. I have got a couple of other bits and pieces that I would like to start soon. But then I think there will be a little bit of a lull in new starts and then just lots of progress happening on the current whips that I've got. Yeah, I haven't really got any life updates. There's nothing to report. Life's just been busy, just getting back into the swing of everything after a busy Christmas and New Year period. Happy New Year to everybody, by the way, as I know I haven't spoken to you since the end of 2022 or before Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I know it is February now, but let's get the well wishes out of the way. Thank you very much to any of the people who are returning, and a big hello to new subscribers. I've had quite a few new subscribers, which is fantastic. Welcome, everyone's welcome, and I hope that you find something that you like during the video. I'm going to get straight on with the stitching now, because I know that's the bit that we're all interested in. So I'm going to start off with a couple of pieces that I've started, new starts, and I've also finished this month. So the first one was Vanellope von Schweetz, just a little stamp. This one is from the Luna Fox Stitch on Instagram. And through her website. She does lots of little stamps of all different collections. I love Wreck-It Ralph and Disney things, so this was a no-brainer for me. Nice and small, so it was an easy win. However, she does require a few French knots. I'm not good with French knots, so the French knots haven't been completed on this one. However, I was speaking to Aimee at Nifty Stitch about it and just my hate for French knots, and she has suggested and used previously little beads. So I've bought some of the tiny weeny little micro petite beads from Mill Hill that I'm then going to hopefully at some point add to Vanellope. However, I'm not sure she completely needs it at the moment, and I've got other bits and pieces that I want to be stitching on as well. So that's her. She has got a Wreck-It Ralph companion to go with her, and I was speaking to Luna Fox Stitch. She put a shout out over the Christmas period for any suggestions of any stamps that we would like her to create, and I requested Candy King as well to go with this. So there'd be the 3. There'd be Vanellope, there'd be Wreck-It Ralph himself, and then there'd be Candy King to go with them. So there'll be the 3 that I'm aiming to do over the next few months. But that was a nice, easy, very, very mini. I'm going to claim it as a full coverage. But she was really enjoyable to stitch. Lots of back stitch on there, which isn't always my favourite, but it does make it pop and bring it to life. So I'll forgive that anyway. So that one I started, when did I start it? So I'm just looking down at my notes. Vanellope. I started her on the 10th of January. She didn't take me very long, and then I finished her on the 15th of January. So 5 days, not full days of stitching, but just evening stitching really, as I've been at work during the week. So really enjoyable stitch, would highly recommend any of those patterns. So that was my first finish. Oh, forgot to say, sorry, that was on 16 count antique white Ada, with all the called for DMCs as well. Sorry, forgot about that important information. The second piece that I have finished. If you are a follower of me on Instagram, you will have already seen this. And this is Scatter Hearts. Oh gosh, sorry. You can tell it's been a long time, a little bit rusty, sorry. So this is Scatter Hearts by Shepherd's Bush. And this was one that I imported from the States directly. Really lovely little stitch. It was much smaller than I thought it was going to be. Didn't read the measurements particularly well, but I just loved the look and I loved the beads, and just perfect for Valentine's Day. So my plan is to hopefully make this into a little pillow of some sort, but I do need to have a little bit of a brush up on how to do that, because my sewing skills are literally cross stitch itself and then being able to hem the edge of the fabric. That's pretty much as extensive as they are. So this one is stitched on a 32 count lilac Murano even weave. It's all done in either Weeks Dye Works, Classic Colour Works, all of the called for threads. It's not on the called for fabric. I couldn't get hold of the called for fabric, so I just went for the nearest best option I could using the photograph of the model pattern provided. I really enjoyed putting the beads on as well, and it just adds a different dimension to it. This one I stitched from the 7th of January, and then I finished it on the 29th of January. So this one did take me a little bit longer, but I do love the colours and it's just beautiful, and it was really nice to stitch on this material. So that is that one. I have got lots of, as I said, it was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, so I have got quite a bit of spare material to use for that one, but I'm sure I will find something else that I can do on this lovely lilac. It's not too in your face, it's quite a subtle lilac colour. So that is my second finished object. I haven't fully finished them all. I'm not particularly confident with that at the moment, but I am going to have to push myself to do that because they do need to be finished. Pillow for that one, little mini cushion, and then the stamp I'm hoping to just frame. So I have got a plan in mind for them both. It's just finding the time to do it, because when I'm weighing up between whether or not I want to do some cross stitch or fully finish objects, cross stitch definitely trumps it. But they will have to be done at some point. I'm thinking I might have to set a day aside to do it and just do them all. So they're my fully finished items, fully finished objects, fully finished items. I lied. I have got one piece that I have started in 2022 and I have worked on. So this one, again, sorry, zip. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen. This is a Mill Hill ornament. It is the Garden and Gnomes charmed ornament, which will look like this. I will pop in here a picture of where I was up to last time I showed you. And then this is where I'm up to now. So it does look a bit of like a face at the moment, but we've now got much more finished off the majority of the building itself. Started on those windows and the flowers at the bottom. So that one's starting to come along nicely now. Just got the roof to finish off, put a butterfly in this area here, finish off the door, and then add in the treasures and beads. That was a nice one. I took that one when I went away for the weekend with a couple of my friends. That was a good one to have just in my bag, easy to transport in one of these little pouches I know lots of people use off of Amazon. So that was that one. I don't know any stitch count or anything on that one or what progress I've made on it. I don't keep a track of that because it's on a paper copy. but I've used all of the things from within the kit, the threads and the parchment paper. So that is the only one that I have worked on that I carried over from 2022. Now, this year I have signed up to 2 sales. The first sale that I signed up to was this one, which was set up by Nathalie, who is from Love It, Live It, Make It Yours over on Instagram and on Flosstube. So if you haven't had a chance to watch her, then go and have a watch. She's a lovely, lovely lady. And she's got lots of great projects going on as well. Fantastic enabler. And yeah, so she put a message out on Instagram saying, would anyone fancy doing this pattern, the Peak Santas from Stitchrovia, Emma Congdon at Stitchrovia. And I just thought, how cute are they? So there are 12 different Santas, and the plan is that we will stitch a different Santa for every month of the year. So I started with this one. So first, it might be a bit easier if I put it over here, and then actually you can put it over there. So, oh, that's better. So this is the first Santa that I decided to do. It is the Santa from the top corner here. This one up here with the tree. So I started with this Santa, nice and easy, simple, small one to start off with. Now, lots of people are joining in with this sale, but they're doing it in lots of different ways. So some people are stitching it onto material, on Ada or even weave or linen. I decided, however, that I wanted to do it on the parchment paper, and then I'm going to make them all into little individual ornaments and hang them. I've got like a little white birch tree that comes out every Christmas, and my plan was that I'll stitch smaller, make them all into little ornaments, and then I'll be able to hang them all on that tree at Christmas, is my plan. So that is Santa there. Santa number 1 is complete. I used all of the called for DMCs from the pattern. Yeah. And I got the parchment paper off of Amazon, I believe. This I got out of the CrossStitcher magazine from the November 2021 edition. So I had it, luckily, so I didn't have to pay for the pattern itself, but yeah, I got it from there. So if you've got that and you fancy joining in, Nathalie says the more the merrier, so come along. But that is my first sale that I have joined in with so far this year. I'm not saying that I'm not going to join in with any more, on addition to the 2 that I've got here, but they're the 2 that I've started this year with. The second sale that I have decided to do is the Caterpillar Cross Stitch, the British Isles Adventures sale. So I started this on the day that it came out. So it came out on the, oh, that's not particularly helpful, is it? Let's make it a bit smaller. It came out on the 26th of January, the first part. And I stitched it on the 26th of January and I had it finished by the 28th of January. So I absolutely loved stitching on this piece. There it is, that's a bit easier for you to see. So we've got sort of Blackpool Tower, we've got a Scottish kilt, we've got the Angel of the North, fish and chips. Oh gosh, I can't remember what that one is. Clifford's Tower, I want to say maybe, and Edinburgh Castle, and then a little lobster. And this is the Isle of Man down here. So that is the first parts of this sale. Really easy to stitch along. Sally always designs them so beautifully, so they're really nice and simple to follow. No backstitch. Obviously you can add backstitch if you want, but on this one, no backstitch. And it's just lovely and bright and colourful, just how I like it. This one was a Christmas present from my mum and dad at Christmas. Obviously, it's a Christmas present. And it is stitched on 16 count icy blue Ada with all the called for DMCs for the kit. So that's that one. I also couldn't help myself, and I did also have to get the matching needle minder, which I'm sure lots of you have seen. It's just a little London bus enamel. Super strong magnetic needle minder, because some of them you can buy and they don't hold your needle. So yeah, lovely, enjoyed that one, and that is my second sal of 2023. Whether I'll do any more, I'm not sure. It just purely depends on if anything takes my fancy. I am trying to curb the amount I'm spending on stitching supplies, but you never know. If something really does catch my eye, then I probably will buy it. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Now, the next ones, I have pushed myself out of my comfort zone a little bit and attempted to do some full coverage. Never thought I was going to say that. Never thought that I would actually attempt some full coverage, but I've done it. I have done it. So I've got 3 full coverages. So not just one. So clearly there is a bit of an addiction going on, because I've got 3 full coverages that I have started. The first one that I started on the 2nd of January, which was almost like a new year, new start. I did speak about this in my last episode. Is the Cinderella lace silhouette pattern, which is from NeniDesigns over on Etsy. They are also on Instagram as well. So this is the pattern that I decided to start off with. And I've worked in this top corner up here, where you can just see sort of like the outline of the coach. So that's where I've started. And then this is how far I have got. So I chose to start purely with the 310 DMC, because there is so much in here of 310 DMC. I've got a whole pouch, there we are, just of 310. So there is what I've done so far. This is the first page. So this is the bottom of the first page down here and the edge of the first page there. So my plan is to do all of the 310 in this first page. And then I think I probably will have to have a little bit of a break from it, because otherwise just go crazy on 310. But as you can see, it's starting to take shape. We can see that carriage starting to form here in the wheels. And then I'll have to go back through with the other colours just to add that lacy type effect to it. This one is done on 16 count antique white Ada, and I'm using all of the called for DMCs within it as well. I'm definitely a DMC girl. I know there's lots of other alternatives out there, but I just like the look of the DMC. And I found actually, I know sometimes that 310 can not always cover particularly well. However, I don't think that's a bad coverage at all. It's 2/1 and it's getting quite a nice cover on it. So I'm really pleased with that one. I do apologise that I haven't ironed any of my projects before showing you. I don't iron my clothes, so I think this will be, me ironing them will be a very last minute, last thing to do job just before they're fully finished. So that is that one. At the moment, that one is, I've done 1,655 stitches and it's 2.64% complete according to Pattern Keeper. And I started it on, as I said, on the 2nd of January. So still a long, long way to go with that one, but we'll get there. We'll get there. It's a challenge. We like a challenge. The second full coverage, I'm now just getting piles of stuff bouncing up either side of me, so sorry. My second challenge was another Christmas present that I asked for, and I've seen this on lots of people's Instagrams. And this is The Bee by Lorna Laine, or Bee by Lorna Laine, and charted by Gecko Rouge. Lots of people I've seen doing this, and I've spoken to lots of people about this regarding what it's like to actually stitch and being quite a new full coverage stitcher. But all they had was positive things to say about it. So I bit the bullet and I asked for it for Christmas, and it arrived a couple of weeks after Christmas, because there is a slight delay as they have to, they make each kit individually. And my partner wasn't particularly on the ball when it came to ordering it. So that's that one. And with this one, I'm doing it on all the kit provided. I have managed to stitch, oh sorry, there it is. I've managed to stitch on this one 380 stitches, and it is 0.58% complete. So not a huge start, but enough of a start to enough of a start that's worth showing everybody on here. Sorry, the lighting wasn't very good there. So we've got one of the yellow stripes, and then we've got the start of a wing starting to appear here. I did the yellow and I thought, well, I need a little bit of a break from that. So I went to good old trusty 310 if I hadn't had enough of 310 with my other project of Cinderella lace as well. So that is that one. This is done on all of the called for, as I said, kit supplies. And I think I went for an 18 count because you select which size you want. I went for an 18 count for this one. So that's that. Enjoying that one. I love a bee. So that one is there. Gecko Rouge always pack their stuff in such beautiful boxes as well. It's absolutely immaculate. Beautiful grey box with like a red ribbon around it. It had a beautiful gecko charm on the front, which I've kept, and I've attached it to my scissors now as like a scissor charm fob. And the fabric was beautifully laid out and labelled, and the threads were all beautifully packed. So a really enjoyable experience to receive that one. The last full coverage that I've started this month, so full coverage number 3, is the Amazing Animal Kingdom by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Yes, that's right, Heaven and Earth Designs. I bit the bullet and went for Heaven and Earth Design. They did have a sale on, so I thought, why not? Now, I know the Heaven and Earth Designs are huge and they take quite a lot of time, so I decided to go for a mini. However, I then read up that actually minis can be worse for confetti stitching because of their size. There tends to be a lot more confetti in them than those of the normal size or the max colour. Don't know if that's true. There does appear to be a fair bit of confetti in here. However, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. We'll see what happens. So yeah, gone for the Amazing Animal Kingdom shelf. Sorry, it's not a fantastic picture. That's the one I've gone for. And this one is, I started on the 29th of January, so only very recently have I started this one. And I've done 843 stitches, and it's 1.05% complete on Pattern Keeper. Again, I started in the top left-hand corner. Now, I was speaking to a number of people on Instagram about whether or not to do a full cross or whether to do a tent stitch. So I've decided that on this piece, I'm going to do a tent stitch. On the other two, I've done full crosses. So I'm just going to see how I find the two different strategies. Now, this one, I don't think in the camera you can particularly tell that it's only tent stitch. However, in person, especially with the 310, it's not as well covered as in my other two pieces with using the 310. But we're just going to go for it. This one is on a 25 count easy guide from Zweigart. And that is as far as we've got on that one. But I have to be honest, I have really enjoyed those full coverages and giving them a go and just experiencing that slightly different way of stitching. With the Cinderella lace, because there's so much 310, it's quite easy to stitch it. With the Amazing Animal Kingdom piece, it's not quite as easy because of the different colour changes. So I have attempted to do some cross country on here. Not sure how I particularly feel about it. I feel that actually it is quite a messy back. I'll show, hang on, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to show you the back. Let me just get it into a position. I don't know if it's particularly messy in comparison. I don't know. if it's, to me, it just feels a little bit messy and untidy, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So as you can see, I've got quite a few bits of thread just running across the back. So I don't know if this is necessarily the best strategy for me, because I'm not sure how I feel about all the running stitches. But yeah. Oh God, that was a bit of a moment showing you the back. It's a bit of a vulnerable moment, isn't it, when you do that, because you don't often see the back of people stitching. But there you go, I did it. Right, so they are my full coverages. So I've done my 2 projects that I started and finished, and then I've done my sals and my full coverages. Now the last bits that I want to show you are I've started 2 other additional projects that are just not full coverage, just normal pieces. So the first one that I have started is The Animal House by Satsuma Street by Jodie Rice. From Satsuma Street by Jodie Rice. I absolutely love the colours in this. They're just so vibrant, and on the black I think it really makes them come alive. So I've really enjoyed stitching on this one, and actually, although stitching on the navy even weave for the Stitch into Christmas sale that I did last year, this I'm finding much easier, because I just find Ada easier to stitch on rather than the even weave. So even though it is on that dark black fabric, it is still easy to stitch even when the light isn't great. So really, really enjoying that one. So far on here, let me have a look. I've done 1,373 stitches, and that is 10.09% complete on Pattern Keeper. So really enjoying doing this. I know that from other people's whip parades that they've done over the Christmas period and the beginning of January, lots of people have got this one in their stash, and it's slowly starting to come back out as people start to stitch on it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone else's progress with this one as well. So this one is on a black 16 count Ada, and it's all the called for DMCs for the project. There we go. I started that on the 6th of January. So quite a while ago. I did a few days on it, and then I put it away and started doing some full coverage work. But I'm itching to get it back out again. So will be one that will come back out again in the next few days, I suspect. Now the last project that I started is the Dragon in Wonderland, which is part of the Kazarina Dragon Sal from Cross Stitch Bunny and Rogue Mama Stitcher. And this one I've started a very, very small start. Probably not even worth showing, but it is a start, so I'm going to show it. I only got 43 stitches, which is 0.32% on Pattern Keeper. It is, oh gosh, I'm not even sure which way around it goes. I'm going to go that way. I think it's that way. Oh, hang on, let's put the board behind it. Okay, so the smallest of starts here, but I just wanted to say that I'd started it. So smallest of starts, 43 stitches. This is on a 32 count Bridget's Garden Opal Murano even weave, and this is from Chromatic Alchemy. Get them in the end, sorry about that. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful fabric, feels beautiful. I find the opal in it though a little bit confusing to stitch on. I think that's just a personal thing for me though. But beautiful fabric, all hand dyed, and actually exactly what I bought. So the pictures on the website are a true reflection of what you then get. So yeah, it's made a start on my Dragon in Wonderland. Only a small start, but I am pleased that I'm off the starting blocks, which is good. So that is that one. I will be using all of the call for DMCs for that. As I said, 32 count, Bridget's Garden, Opal Merino, even weave. Sorry, it's still in the Q-snap, but I've been working on it quite recently, so it hasn't actually made it out of the Q-snap yet. So that was that one. And that is all of the pieces that I have started in January. I have got a couple of other bits that I do want to start over the next week or so. The first one that I want to show you is this one. And this is from Yasminsmadewithlove. She is on Instagram and on Flosstube. I'm sure you've watched it. If you haven't though, really go and check her out. She's fantastic. She's got so many beautiful Barbarana pieces that she's completed. Whenever I'm watching her videos, I just get distracted by the beautiful pieces that she's got on her wall behind her. They're absolutely stunning. I've no idea how she manages to stitch so quickly, but she's absolutely fab. So definitely go and watch her. I think last year on her sort of wrap up at the end of last year, she said she'd managed to complete 84 projects in 2022, and that is just phenomenal. But yeah, Barbarana is definitely on my wish list because of her. So, but anyway, go and watch her. Another reason to go and watch her Flosstubes as well is because at the moment she's training to do the London Marathon. And she's raising money for the charity of MenCap. And as part of that, what she's done is she's designed some pieces, some patterns. If you make a donation, she will then send you the pattern. And this one is one that caught my eye as soon as she showed it. And it's called The Uniqueness of Others. And so this beautiful peacock in these beautiful blues, and it says diversity is embracing the uniqueness of others. And I just think that's so true, and it's just such a beautiful piece and for such a beautiful and amazing cause as well. So that's one that I really want to start over the next week as well. I've just got to make sure that I've got all of the called for materials for it and find a nice fabric that I want to do it on. But I'm sure I've got some bits and pieces in my stash that I will be able to use for it. But go and have a look at Yasmin, at Yasminsmadewithlove, and if you can, make a donation towards her very good cause. And follow her with running the London Marathon. I can never run the London Marathon, so I'm going to run it through her. So that's my first piece that I definitely want to start over the next few weeks. And then my second one is slightly different. It's not so much a cross stitch, it's the black work, and it's from Peppermintpurple. So this is a piece that I would like to start from Peppermintpurple, and it is the black work green sea turtle. Now I know it's a turtle, however I've got a tortoise, and my tortoise is currently in hibernation, and she, I'm not sure yet, is due out on the 28th of February. So I'm planning on starting this one on the 28th of February as a little ode to them. Yeah, so this one's not going to be started straight away, but by my next Flosstube, it will have had to start on it. Don't know how I'm going to find it. As I said earlier, backstitch isn't always my favourite thing, but it's a new challenge, so I'm going to give it a whirl and see how I get on. So there it is. And that was one that I think I picked up in when there was a sale on over Christmas, New Year period. So that's all of the bits and pieces that I wanted to share with you today. I've been really good at keeping up to date with my log of what I've been doing. So I got myself a book of days 2023 diary, journal, log, whatever you want to call it. And so I've been really good at sort of keeping up with tracking what I've been doing. As you can see, I like colour, and I also bought one of those beautiful sticker books so that I can beautify the pages as well. So that's all on there. I try and keep a start of when I start my new projects, the stitches that I've done each day, what type of project it is, whether it's a full coverage, whether it's an ornament, whether it's just a general project, whether it's a sal, so I can make sure I'm getting a good coverage so I don't get bored with it. I'm really enjoying it. My only issue is that on some days when I've had a bit of a day of various different projects, so for example on the 29th I had quite a busy day on that Sunday, there's not quite enough space in the box. But that doesn't happen very often, so I'm just going to make do. So yeah, really enjoying having that as a starting point to keep a track of what I've been doing. The last thing I want to say though is that on Saturday I am going to the Be Stitchy retreat, the Southwest Be Stitchy retreat, which I'm really looking forward to. My very first Stitchy retreat. Bit nervous, excited, all at the same time. Not really sure what to take, how much to take, how much money to take, or anything like that. So it's going to be a new experience. It's going to be exciting, nerve-wracking, all at the same time, but I'm sure when I get there it will be fantastic. But if anyone is going to the Be Stitchy retreat over the weekend, this coming weekend, then please let me know. The dates are, sorry, I should know the dates, shouldn't I? It's the 2nd, 3rd and 4th of February. So if you're there, drop me a message, because it'd be great to catch up with you there as well. So if you've stayed around for the whole of the video, thank you so much for your time. If you like what you saw, please like, please subscribe to my channel so that you can be updated when a new video comes out, as obviously they're not particularly regular because I just squeeze them in as and when I can. So yeah, and if you've got any questions or I've missed anything out, please comment below and I will get back to you. So thank you, bye.